Hi everyone, it's Paulette from BespokeHR and welcome to our next BespokeHR Byte. This bite is on the art of effective one-on-ones. And the reason we're talking about this is because in all of the touch points that we're doing with organisations, the importance of one-on-ones is coming up every single time. So we thought we would talk about what makes the difference between an effective one-on-one and just something that you've got in your diary that everyone wants to just tick a box and say it's been done. So, effective one-on-ones, if they're done right, can help lift your team up and set them up for support. So what we want to make sure is that the right questions and the right preparation is going into them. So here's a couple of tips to set you up for success. First is you get out of them what you put into them. If you don't prepare going into them, you're not going to get the most out of them. That means both people should be looking at it. The employee and the manager need to be thinking, what do I want to get out of this one-on-one? What do I want to get out of our time together? And how do we best prioritize and get the outcomes that we want out of the meeting that we're having? So planning is your first tip. The second thing is an agenda. So you want to keep it fluid and you want to keep it conversational, but an agenda is going to help keep you on track. So we generally suggest your first is, how do we go last week or for whatever period you're doing? How do we go against our priority work? Did we get it done? What do we do against what we said we would do? The second is, well, what's the next focus or priority work? So what are we doing for the next week or fortnight or month or for whatever rhythm you work to? Are there any foreseeable barriers that will get in the way of that we need to get onto now? The third is general feedback. Feedback from me, feedback from you. Anything that we can give each other that can help set each other up for success. The fourth is in relation to just general well-being. How are you managing your workload? How are you managing your priorities? How are you going in terms of getting through your to-do list? Is there anything I can do to help support you? And the fifth is, can we wrap these up in terms of actions? So how do we summarize the actions that we've spoken about? It doesn't need to be war and peace, but it does need to be, what's the 3 things or the 5 things that we kind of committed to do that is going to be important for us to get done for the next period of time. So something like that basic agenda is going to help keep you both on track to make sure that you're getting things done. The other things you may add to that is things I need to get signed off, or approvals that I need to get, or it might also be around development opportunities if you're adding them into your one-on-ones. What's one thing that you want to be able to work on to help upskill or master them? But really, that's going to be determined on the amount of time that you've got for those one-on-ones. The second key tip we'd say is around consistency. So if you say you're going to do the monthly, do the monthly. Keep those meetings as consistent as possible, and that's what will help people actually get the most out of them. If you keep cancelling them, or you don't value them, or people don't come prepared to them, people are probably not going to invest more time in them. The third is, you want to also keep the human factor in these one-on-ones. So yes, you're talking about business, and yes, you're talking about priority work and maybe some of the support that they need to overcome those barriers. But you also want to be doing a general check-in on your team members and each other. It's reciprocal. Team members, you can say back to managers, how are you going? Anything that I can do to help. So those kind of mutual types of conversations are going to help create and open up dialogue so that you can ensure that you're proactively getting onto things that you want to be talking about and helping each other in the right ways that you can help put people's best feet forward. So hopefully you've got a few tips there that can help you create more effective one-on-ones and actually ensure that you're actually getting meaningful information and useful things out of that time that you're spending together. So here's to elevating your one-on-one performance. I hope that you actually can take something away to make that interaction just that little bit more meaningful.